So they'll be calling you radical. Will you believe me now? So NOAA says they're putting the sunflower sea star on the endangered list. And 90% acutely crashed. They say between 2013 and 2017, as Kevin Blanch has documented in real time. Now, how long have I been screaming about this? Not all. Also, get this. Oregon, Washington, Alaska, of course, they've applied for emergency ballots. They're getting on with salmon. They've also, there's applications for the Chinook salmon to go onto the endangered list. Acute collapse. Started in 2016. They go to sea for 5 years. So they were teeming, just full. People used to laugh at me. I says, the sea stars will go first. They'll go first. You know, my favorite is the octopus. I catch people poaching them every day, which they're already endangered, but okay, nobody cares. I mean, nobody cares. So what good's it going to do to be endangered? What they should do is put the moratorium, well, shut them all down. That's what should have happened, like they did in Japan. Oh, they're having a nuclear renaissance in Japan. Oh, really? Really? 54 nuclear reactors in Japan? 52 are offline. Rolling blackouts? I don't think so. You know who's racing forward faster than maybe even China and California in the solar industry? Japan. You can go along with the mainstream narrative all you want. Kevin Blanch's work being verified every day. So I did this in real time while I was sick. It's 10 weeks today in my 12-week rehabilitation. I'm like the Pacific Ocean. Split me open. I mean, 90%. Oh, yeah. I went 99. Right to the edge. This one almost got me. We had a long conversation yesterday. How many lives you got? Chris was telling me. She runs the library at Weber State. And I'm like, she said, I remember when you fell off the roof and broke your back. I said, remember when I got that across the face? Oh, I forgot about that one. Critical both times. 2005, 6. AML leukemia. That boy, I came close. Whoa, did I come close? This is the closest I came, was this one. How many of you guys? I don't know. 9. I says, I've used way more than that. So the mighty blue lady, I fight for her. She fights for we. We're both so wounded. We're internet kettled. We're knocked down. We're beat to hell. And everybody sends around 50 million people on any given day in California County tourism economy. Up and down the 5, all over. Let's go to Disneyland. Let's go to SeaWorld and see them freaking endangered, imprisoned animals. I used to protest out there so hard. The first time I got hit with a nightstick in my life protesting was at SeaWorld. Oh, they're creepy. I grew up right around the corner from there, you know. Crown Point here in Utah. The marine biologists in the high desert of Utah. And you go along with this narrative all you want. I don't care. I've done all the work. And to be contemporary, go ahead. Go ahead. Run over to Joe Rogan, which is Rush Limbaugh Live. Go protest for orange. You know, getting indicted. Whoopie-doo. You know, they're none of the same. Obama and Trump have proved they're identical. You know, I know Biden. How Biden's disgusting. So is Trump. So is Biden. They're nuclear energy puppets. You know, here in Utah, Governor Cox gets caught sneaking in nuclear waste into southern Utah. Oh, my God. Well, they're bringing it right in your face into Energy Solutions. Kevin Blanch is the only media out there. And, you know, if I get 128 views, it's doing good because everybody's trumpets. First of all, you're indoctrinated. You're gone. You're hypnotized. It's way past Orwell by television. You're gonzoed. I mean, the whole populace is gone. They can't figure out, is nuclear energy a red or a blue issue? They can't figure it out. They've tried. They tried. It's an imperialist issue, just like every other issue in the United States. Both these parties are identical imperialists, just like the banksters. You know, I taught at the #1 school of business in the United States, got blackballed for taking on the nuclear industry. Number one when I taught there, unarguable. Graduated there, taught their student professor, but they're like dead last now. Their supply chain from China now. So I started talking about this 20-something years ago. I said, you want the risk-free industry to go in. You know, I taught the banking class. The shoe game, remember that? Race fees, race. So if you go into banking, It's fail-proof. No bankster will ever go to prison. So you can do whatever you want. You graduate from a school business, you go in the banking industry, you rob, you pillage, you cheat, you fly your Learjet around, you make all kinds of risky gambles, you do whatever you want with the investor's money illegally. Nothing will ever happen to you. Nothing. No bankster will ever get indicted. No bankster will ever go to jail. You can rob the money all you want. Do whatever you want, and the government will bail you out. Same with this industry. You go to work in the nuclear industry, go work for one of the labs, Livermore, Los Alamos, Idaho National Lab, ASCO Isaiah Reyes. You seen that nice new scale stock under the IPO? And you could do whatever you want with the money. Just rob it, steal it, the Immunity Act. And the dairy industry, big agriculture, the same thing. You can produce a product, dairy, that we do not use, that they subsidize. All these products, we overproduce food so grotesquely in this country, it is sickening. Yet look at the prices of it. Because there's subsidy floors, all of the subsidies. So you can go in the dairy industry, milk your cows 4 times a day. I've had to move out of my property because the mega dairy next to me had just drained the marsh, it poisoned it. Roundup everywhere. I mean, just poisoned the freaking thing. The government will just feed you money, and they clean their free market people, all these big ags, for a product they dump down the drain. We don't eat dairy. They don't let any of these companies, these bad technologies in a natural business cycle wipe out. Banksters, we go back to the savings loan. I wrote my MBA thesis on the savings loan. The Ogden mayor went to prison here. He was the mayor. Nobody goes anymore. Nobody. So in schools of businesses, they teach it now. You go into banking, you go to the nuclear energy industry, go to work for one of the labs, you go to work in big agriculture. They're risk-free businesses. You go in, you get government pork by the gazillions and the billions and the trillions, all you want. You do anything with the money, whatever. Fly your Learjets around, party, freaking hang out, just rob and steal your bank holdings, people's money, and the government will bail you out. And there'll be no indictments, there'll be no criminal. The untouchables, the banksters, the nuclear energy crime syndicate. So if this doesn't prove it, I don't know what does. So, I got my gold medal back. I got to work on it. That's the gold medal for tide tool jumping, world record gold. I'll be back at it soon. Kevin Blanch, Bob Beeman Blanch, doing the most historical PhD in human history. I fight for her. She fights for we from the sea. It's the ecology, stupid. So the acute wipeout, you read Noah's own words. 90% collapse in 4 years. Just wasting these. They got some kind of thing. Everything that comes for the sea. We can't talk anything. The great coincidence. The fires. Plutonium never happened before. All this acute catastrophe. Still in the rehab center. Got a couple more weeks. Acute catastrophe like the salmon, the tide pools. Just like Kevin Blanch said, and everybody laughed at me. Little late, Noah. Little late to the game. We're at day 4,400, eh? Right, we're getting close. Stay tuned. The greatest PhD in human history. You can deny my work all you want. The marine biologist in the high desert of Utah. I was walking through the park in New York here this winter. Some young kids, crew of them come crashing through. They saw this and they says, "Look, it's old man Jenkins." I looked at this because I know who old man Jenkins is. SpongeBob on Balco on chemo. Stay tuned.